Okay, so here we are. I've got Lenny here. We're in our second full day here. And as you can see, he's okay. He's better on the leash than he was, but he still has a lot of learning to do. Once that nose takes over, we kind of lose him. So, good boy. Good boy. Let's get into our turns here. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. So as he's giving me that eye contact there, yes, good boy. I'm giving him that good feedback, positive feedback. As he's giving me eye contact, he's paying attention. Yes, good boy. Okay. So we'll take off here. And we're always just turning to our right in the beginning, right? We want him to just turn one way. You can see he hits the end of the leash. Come on. Good boy. Sometimes on those turns, so I'm just using that leash to guide him with me. Good boy. Good boy. Come on. Good boy. Come on. Good boy. Good. So make sure, shorten up on that leash when you come to a stop, as to stop him here. We can even backtrack just a little, and we can lure him. Okay, come on. We can lure him here, like this. Okay. Same motions though. Turning to our right, guiding him with the leash there, coming to our stop. Yes, good boy, and having him sit. So you can do that luring, but okay, we can see, good boy, that if I just, good boy, use my leash to point out, good boy, when he misses the turns, and using my positive, good boys, yes, when he's in the correct spot, he's picking it up. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, so let's do our impulse test here. Yes, that's a good boy. Real good. Okay, so again, everything really stems from this. Yes, good boy. So if he tries to grab those treats, just use your leash. So you have a lot of resistance here, right? I was keeping the leash fixed length, and he's really kind of pulling down there. So obviously what we're trying to teach him is not to resist that leash, right? So as soon as he sat back there, the tension goes away, okay? Yes, good boy. Again, the idea here is always don't impulsively pull out, yes, to the one I'm throwing, and I'll reward him for the good decision. And we will not give him these ones, right? We don't want him to manifest over those ones on the ground, okay? Good boy. Meaning I won't pick them up and give them to him. I just gave him one, but that was after I had kind of brought it here first, okay? So he is on a star mark, and his 6-foot leather leash here. His leash skills are very, very poor. He pulls a ton. He would pull a ton. He would really hunker down, to kind of drag you. So he's already getting better with that. So let's keep getting some turns in here. Okay, come on. Good. So one of the things I want you to, again, pay attention to on this turning exercise here is that I'm turning on a straight line. I'm walking on a straight line, and I'm pivoting. Okay, so, and I'm leading, right? I'm leading with my body. I want him to follow me. Good boy. Good boy. Right, the entire, come on. Whoop. Understanding here is teaching your dog to follow you. Good boy. Come on. Good boy. So let's come to a stop right here. Good boy. a good boy. So when you're making your turn, okay, again, it's a pivot. So, come on, we'll come a little bit closer here. Okay. So it's a pivot. So what I'm doing is I'm planting my left foot, and we're just turning straight behind, okay? So we don't want a U-turn. Don't turn out wide and don't sort of drag your dog around. You want to pivot, turn, and walk, okay? So one of the other things that you're going to do there is, because take some coordination here, and to take some leash management. So what we're doing is you're going to let some of the leash slide out because you want your timing to be correct here. Okay, so what I'm not wanting to do again is sort of drag him through the turn here with this left arm coming out. Okay, so what I'm doing is I let the leash come out like this, and I'm keeping my arms, my hands, pretty close to my belly button here. Okay, and then we're gonna keep moving. I'm gonna give a little jab there on the leash, but then, so a little jab right there, but then as he catches up, I shorten the leash. I shorten the leash. We make our turn, I let some leash slide out, make my turn, good boy. So pivot, turn, shorten up on the leash, let some leash slide out, pivot, turn, shorten up the leash, pivot, turn, shorten up the leash, let some leash slide out, pivot, turn, shorten up the leash. Okay, so there is, again, there is technique here and there is skill here, okay? But it's important for timing, okay? Timing. What we're really just trying to let him know is that he's not paying attention and he missed the turn, right? So if he's paying attention to me, he won't miss the turn. So I don't want to come in, again, let me show you what we don't want here. We don't want to come in super tight here and do this, because he's not learning to make a turn. I'm turning him, right? I'm micromanaging and turning him. So, which, again, this is a little bit difficult for people to understand, that we need to give your dog more leash here. So look at his turns. He has more leash. Look how loose it is, right? So right there, he missed. Jab of the leash. He catches up, shorten the leash. I'm going to make a turn, leash out, turn, leash in, leash out, turn, leash in, leash out, turn, leash in. Okay, so you have to give leash, because when we make this turn, and if you need to remind your dog to catch up here based on missing the turn, the leash needs to be loose. Okay, so, because even here, if the leash is tight, you're gonna just drag him. What we need is, it needs to go from loose, jab, and back to loose, right? So there it is in motion, right? You're basically just trying to tell him, come on, catch up. It's a tap. Come on, catch up. So not a drag, look, tap. Come on, catch up, see? So yes, look, my timing is correct. So essentially, I can drop this left hand and give the correct signal. Most of you are not going to be able to do that. You'll end up dragging the dog through the turn. But because the concept is just tap, then it doesn't really matter where your hands or your arms are placed if you have the tap down. But your mindset should just be, come on, catch up. Come with me. Okay? Good boy, good boy, good boy. Yes, good boy, good boy. Good. So it's very important here that you understand the turns need to include the catch-up portion, the leash portion. So simply the understanding of, oh, just stop every time your dog pulls, isn't necessarily going to develop the idea of teaching your dog to pay attention. Because what's going to happen is every time your dog pulls, you're just going to stop and you're going to break them. And then you're going to walk again, they're going to pull, and then you're going to break them. So we need directional changes with your leash jab, with your catch up with your follow me. You need, they have to be combined. Without that, you will always just drag your dog through the turn and they will never figure out to pay attention, okay? So here's the same thing there, right? If their nose hits the ground, you have to do the same thing because that's not paying attention. And especially when you have a gun dog